The cat needs to go out. What are you doing, you stupid cat? Come on, then. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Ugh. Leonard Cohen died, which is a very sad thing. I don't know if you can see. If you can hear a strange purring noise, I've got a cat on my lap. You'll have noticed this as well. If I say one more time, yes. Million questions raised. You'll be saying, how, what, when, woo. So let me fill you in on the full story. I went to the bank yesterday to pay some checks in and disturbed an armed robbery in progress. There was a guy in there waving this handgun around the place. So, nerves of steel, of course, I just said, "Drop the gun, asshole." He couldn't hear me, so I had to say, "Oi!" He spun round, saw me, pulled the trigger. I saw this bullet coming towards me, and with what some people might describe as superhuman reflexes, I sort of ducked back, like in the Matrix, and this bullet just glancing blow. That got my dander up, as you can well imagine. So I just gave him one of those looks, and he looked a bit like Nigel Farage, actually. Asshole. Strange. I did a double take. If you don't know who Nigel Farage is, asshole. Consider yourself blessed. Why do I keep going? Better than So, yes. Damned her up. And so I said, drop the gun, matey boy. He pulled the trigger a few more times, bullets flying towards me. I was used to it by then, swatted them all out of the way. Ripped him apart, limb by limb from limb. Blood and gore all over the place. Bank manager came round, called me a hero, got one of the junior staff to start tidying up, cashed my checks. Actually, I walked into a tree. Asshole. It bloomin' hurt as well. I was a brave soldier. And whilst talking about pain, at about the same time, I got one of those near invisible thorns in my finger. You know the one you won't be able to see it, a little black dot. You don't realise it's there until you actually touch something at the right angle, and then there's this pain sears through your body. I live with pain. But it was quite amusing, because this morning I went to Cafe Nero in Lymington. Have I told you about Lymington? Lymington's sort of just down the road. I think I might have mentioned Lymington before. Anyway, don't worry. I'm going to be doing a map very soon with my crayons. Went into Cafe Nero Lymington. I like Cafe Nero in Lymington. Very nice place. The staff there, nearly all Poles. Polish staff. Very nice people. Farage. Asshole. Anyway, I walked in there. It was fairly quiet. It was quite early on. Quite early on. They saw this, and little Magda, who was on duty, said, "Oh, what has happened to you?" in a Polish accent. So I said that I'd been attacked by wild dogs. You see, a little bit of English humour. It was early in the morning. Her eyes opened up the size of saucers. This is a true story. Eyes opened up the size of saucers. She turned to her colleague, Kate, who I don't think is her real name, probably Katya or something like that, who's on the coffee machine. The two of them, Katya's head spun round to look at me, and the two of them, whoa! And so I thought, well, tell them the truth, otherwise panic will set in. You know what women are like. And so I said, no, actually, I walked into a tree. But of course, they weren't receiving. They were in panic mode. There are wild dogs in England, we didn't know, sort of thing, you see. So I was going, no, I walked into a tree, and they were just... And I thought, do I repeat? I walk into a tree. So I just sort of, at the time, gave a momentary glance to the woman behind me, an English woman, who was also eyes wide open, staring at my forehead as I turned around. So I felt a bit embarrassed and stupid, unlike me. And so I just took my coffee and went and sat down. So if you hear a tale of wild dogs in the New Forest area, I'm sorry, that's my fault. Anyway, this is what I was doing in the immediate period of walking into a tree.
Shades. Shades.